Check one, two, check one, two, check one, two. We're live. Check one, two. Okay, outstanding, y'all. Let's jump right into it here, y'all. So Perry Jeffries here, your entrepreneur CFO, coming to you on this month of April. If you've been following us, we've been doing 30 days of financial literacy. And on this day 26, I want to talk about um, some partners that you need to have if you're an entrepreneur, right? But a lot of times I find that there's a lot of confusion around what these partners do. So if you're an entrepreneur, a small business owner, there are some things that you're, saying, some members of your team, your financial team that you need to have in place. You're going to need a bookkeeper. You're going to need a tax professional slash tax planner, advisor, prep person. You're going to need a financial advisor, and you're gonna need a CFO. Okay, they all do different things, and a lot of times I think there's confusion around who to hire and when to hire them. So I'm going to give just a real quick, maybe 5 to 7 minute explanation of why you should hire these people and when you should hire them. Okay. So let's start with your bookkeeper. A lot of times I hear entrepreneurs say, "Hey, Perry, I'm not ready to work with you as a CFO because my books aren't in order and I need to get a bookkeeper." And usually, what I find is that's a disconnect because your books don't need to be in order to work with a CFO, because the CFO and the bookkeeper do totally different things. Your bookkeeper is the person who's going to make sure that your expenses and income are categorized the right way so that you can get reporting at the end of the month or end of the quarter to kind of see, where you stand with respects to your cash balances, with respects to your cash flow, with respects to your P&L, that's your profit and loss. So the bookkeeper's job is to, as you spend things and they pull that through their software, albeit QuickBooks or Zero or whatever it is that they're using, to get things categorized the right way. So, hey, this is a marketing expense. Hey, um, this is a employee expense, a payroll expense. Hey, this is an office expense. Hey, this is a travel expense, so that you can see at a very quick glance of where you're spending your money. Okay. So that's their job. Their job is not to advise you on whether or not you should buy a business or expand. Their job is not to be your strategic partner. Their job literally is to track your spending and provide to your report where things are categorized and you know exactly where they are. Now, I'm not saying that the bookkeeper isn't super valuable, because here recently we hired a new bookkeeper, and having a good bookkeeper and having clean books makes filing your taxes a breeze. So let me say that again. So if you don't have a good bookkeeper and you're having issues filing your taxes because you're trying to pull receipts out of the air and make shit up to try to get deductions and whatnot because you haven't been having your books tracked and monitored the right way, you definitely need a bookkeeper. So having a bookkeeper will save you so much time, energy, and money. But that's their job. Their job is not to advise you as much as their job is to say, hey, where did you spend here? Okay, they may question some stuff like, what's this expense here? Oh, you went to Panera. Was this a business expense? Well, what client did you meet with, so that we can, what I'm saying, it goes into the right category. That's their job. Next, you have your tax professional. Now, there's different levels of tax professional. You have your tax prep people who work, seasonally at H&R Block, where you walk in with your paperwork and say, hey, file my taxes. They ask you a couple questions and boom, you got a tax return and a refund, right? So you have tax prep people. You have tax advisors, right? What I'm saying? Where it's like, hey, we can give you some advice on how to make sure that you're mitigating your taxes and you're using a tax code to your advantage, right? And then you have, tax planners who you may be working with throughout the course of the year to make sure that your taxes are in order, and make sure that you're actually planning ahead. So, hey, yes, you do need to pay your kids. Hey, yes, I'm saying, you know what? We can't wait till last minute to open up this retirement plan so we can get to deductions. Let's do this now. Hey, you should consider moving from filing as self-employed on a Schedule C to using an S corp election. So different levels of that, but that tax professional is there to advise on the taxes and to help you prepare your tax return. Okay, because there's different levels of them. You're going to have some which are going to be super valuable to you because they're going to be able to give you great tax planning, and you're going to have some where you're going to pay them $50 or $150 to, hey, take this paperwork, give me my tax return, and issue my refund. So different levels to that, depending where you are in the game. Understanding that you actually may need tax planning. If you need tax planning, you do not need to be cheap and going to someone who's just going to do tax prep. Pay the fee to get tax planning and real advice. Okay. Next, you have is financial advisor. So many know that I've been, in the quote unquote financial advisor industry for close to 20 years now. Next year will be my 20th year getting licensed with my Series 7 stockbroker's license, right? So, but is being a financial advisor and the CFO the same thing? Absolutely not. Your financial advisor is typically going to be the individual who's going to give direction on, hey, how you should invest, invest in, different stocks and funds. Hey, maybe giving some advice on some annuities or things of that nature. Maybe talking to you about retirement plans, what have you. Maybe talking to you, advising you on how your portfolio should be built. That's typically where their expertise ends. Now, very once in a while, you'll find a financial advisor who maybe has some business acumen and can advise on the business, but typically they're not going to get into that. Typically the financial advisor is going to stay in their lane dealing with your personal finances. They're not going to jump over into a lane and saying, hey, you know what, if you did this with your business, you could drive your revenue up. What I'm saying? Typically they're going to say, hey, what do you have available to invest? And then they're going to work with that. Now, hopefully, your financial advisor and your tax person are communicating with each other, because that should be a cohesive team and they should be working together on your behalf. In my almost 20 years in the business, don't see that happen quite often. I try to do it with my clients where it's like, hey, we got some things going on. I want to make sure I'm talking to your tax person to make sure that things are set up the right way. Right. So understand that's their expertise. Okay. Now, what's a CFO? That's the role that we have transitioned to and been transitioning to over the past, probably 5 years or so. Now, do we still have clients that we work with one-on-one as their quote unquote financial advisor? Yes. But where do we spend the majority of our time? As a fractional CFO. So what is the CFO role? The CFO is not your bookkeeper. It's not your tax prep and tax advisor. And more times than not, usually isn't your financial advisor, though I'm still the financial advisor for my clients because I'm licensed to do so, which makes us unique in the marketplace. Because most CFOs do not have that licensing. But your CFO is your strategic partner. Okay, when I say strategic partner, if you're the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, you are the vision of the business. Hey, I want to take the business here. I want to do this. But your CFO is the one who you need to talk to see how to make that happen. Hey, CFO, I want to expand and buy another business. You need to speak to your CFO because the CFO is going to give you the roadmap in order to do that. So your CFO is your strategic partner. Now, your CFO may actually advise on, improving your profitability of your business, understanding, understanding how to drive revenue. So there, the CFO has to have a broad knowledge base. Hence why I function as a CFO, because my knowledge base is in lending, is in real estate acquisition, is in real estate, is in insurance, is in retirement planning, is in cryptocurrency. So I have this broad base. And also too, I understand the systems needed to run a business successfully. So with that being said, I can jump in and help a CEO scale their business, increase their cash flow, reduce their taxes, and things of that nature. But also, too, in my CFO role, I am also to the point person where I'm now communicating with the bookkeepers and the accountants and potentially the financial advisors, if I'm not the financial advisor, to make sure that the CEO is taken care of, not only with their business finances, but with their personal finances. Because though they are separate, you can't have good personal finances if your business is jacked up. If your cash flow is jacked up, how in the world are you going to be able to put money away, right? So I help clients. So when I'm working as a CFO, I'm helping clients make decisions on if they want to acquire other businesses, if they want to acquire more real estate, how to create their own pension plans. And yes, we can get into the cash management on how to invest their profits, because we're helping them make the business more profitable, right? So those are your four, partners, right? Bookkeeper, accountant, accounting professional, financial advisor, and CFO. So in my role, again, as a fractional CFO, because I am licensed as financial advisor, I wear two hats. Not only do I help my clients become more profitable with their business, but then I can also give solid direction on how to invest those dollars and do other things as well, and access lines of credit and what have you, right? But if you have a CFO who doesn't have that skill set, that's okay. Just know that you actually still need to have a personal financial advisor to help you with your personal finances. So hope that helps you guys out. So you, as you're identifying your team members, you need to build your financial team. You cannot go about trying to do all of this stuff by yourself. It is a recipe for disaster. But build your team. Build your team. Let me say it again. Build your team. And kind of, and in full transparency, I'll kind of share this. I was fortunate enough to be able to hire my accountant, who's also a certified profit first professional like me, who also has people in her office who handle bookkeeping. So my bookkeeping and my accounting are in the same place. So they talk to each other. Because again, good books lead to ease of filing taxes, right? Super important. So, if you're fortunate enough to have a firm that has that separated out, awesome. But I will tell you this, be cautious of this, of someone doing bookkeeping and accounting. That's a lot to do. With the firm that I work with, big shout out to Christine, what I'm saying? With the big firm that I work with, she's my tax advisor and planner, and works with me on planning on how I should structure the business and things of that nature. So that's where she's spending her expertise. And then she has her team of bookkeepers make sure that my books are being closed out the right way and they're being managed. And then they come together and able to file my taxes. Okay. So again, bookkeeper, accountant, because a lot of times you hear people say, "Oh, my accountant," but really what they want is, saying, "Oh, my accounting, my accounting." Oh, what you're really saying is you want a bookkeeper. If you want an accounting professional, then you want somebody to be able to advise you on how to navigate the tax code, tax law, and really put yourself, a good situation, right? So that's what I have for you guys, y'all. Hope that was helpful to you. Be sure to share this with somebody, another business owner who may be confused on who they should hire, and just understand you need to have all of these partners for your business. And if you can't hire everybody at the same time, hire the ones that are most important to your business. If you need to get your books in order because you can't file your taxes, that's a telltale sign you probably need a bookkeeper. If you're at the point now where you're making revenue and you don't know what to do with the profit, you already have money coming in, and you're like, what did I do with this piece? I want to expand. I want to buy real estate. I want to buy more businesses. It's time for you to get a CFO. Now, and if you can't hire the individuals, at least learn the systems and hire somebody to teach the systems to you so you can run it on your own. Because while you're a startup, you may actually have to be your own CFO. So make sure you get with a CFO and get a system in place. All right. That's all I got for you guys. Hope that was helpful. Holler at y'all later. Peace.